Hey, everybody. It's been far too long since the last video that I posted. A lot has happened. We sold our home in San Antonio, Texas, and moved to a town called Stephenville, Texas. Stephenville, Texas is about an hour and 45 minutes southwest of Dallas. Uh, Part of moving, I had to tear down the 210-gallon aquarium, and we loaded it up and it made the move flawlessly. Um, but I decided to do something different. Instead of the 210, I had a Planet Aquariums 48 inch by 48 inch by 24 inch tall aquarium built. And there it is. In addition to the new tank, I got a new sump. It's a Trigger Systems CR44. The original sump was a Trigger Systems Ruby 36. I didn't think it was going to be big enough. It was barely big enough for the 210. And, this is actually, it comes out to 239.8 gallons, but everybody calls it a 240. The room is a bit of a mess. At the new house, this is like the second living room. It used to be a garage. Previous owners removed the garage door, put in French doors and some windows, and called it a second living room. It's a beautiful room, a lot of built-in cabinets. Part of the agreement to getting this room and turning it into my office slash man cave slash fish room was that I have to keep all the dogs' crates in here. So when we crate them all, they're all in here. So that might be an issue down the road as far as CO2 affecting the pH of the water. But I think I got a great deal. I mean, this is a huge room. It's like a double car garage that's been converted. So back to the aquarium. So I'm running the CR44 sump. Majority of the equipment that I had in the 210, I'm going to run in the 240. Same skimmer. I'm going to be running carbon GFO reactors, and I've got dual Reef Octopus. I believe they're the Varios 8s. I got a pair of those, and then I've got the Trigger Systems auto top off reservoir. It's a 10-gallon reservoir. I know the 210-gallon was evaporating about 5 to 7 gallons every 2 days. So I'm figuring this is going to evaporate more. But today we got the tank on the stand. The empty weight of the tank is 480 pounds. So I had 3 guys come out to give me a hand. My back is screaming at me right now. I've already checked. The tank is level. The bubble's in the middle. I think Monday I will begin plumbing it. Being in a small town, a lot of the plumbing shops and hardware stores are actually closed on Sundays, which I totally respect. I'll be spending my time at church tomorrow. So, but that's the sump, and I'll be plumbing it. I'm running 3 drain lines. 2 will be main drains, and 1 will be left as an emergency overflow. I'm also running the UV sterilizer on this tank. It is the Pentair. I don't know if you can see it down there or not, but it's the Pentair 40 watt. This thing's like like a telescope. It is huge. So that should be plenty big enough for a tank this size. I've got 100 pounds of rock on order. It's dry live rock. I've got 140 pounds of Cribsea. I believe it's the Fiji Pink sand. 140 pounds will get me about 1.5 inches, but I figure once I get that 100 pounds of rock in there, it may displace enough sand to get me anywhere from 1.5 inches to close to 2 inches in some areas. And I may decide down the road to even go with more sand. But I'm going to be running, it's 1.5 inch drains and 1 inch returns. So let me hold the camera over here and see if we can get a down view of the overflow box. Planet Aquariums did an amazing job. This is just an amazing aquarium. I am so thrilled with the quality that went into it. And like I said, I mean, empty weight 480 pounds. That's no joke. So for lighting, and there we got a bunch of my daughter is storing a bunch of stuff here, so it's kind of taking up a small corner of the room. But I picked up T5 hybrid light fixtures, and I will be running their 48 inches long by, I want to say 22, 23 inches wide. There's 8 bulbs, and I'll be able to mount my Reef Breeders Photon V2s between the sets of light bulbs. So I'll have actually, I'm sorry, it's 4 bulbs per fixture, giving me a total of 8 bulbs. And then I'll have the 2 Reef Breeders between each of the fixtures. The plan, what I'm planning on doing is I want to build a canopy. And I want to try and figure out a way to hook drawer sliders to the light fixtures. So when it comes time to replace bulbs, instead of messing around, removing the canopy or whatever it is I need to do to get to those bulbs, I want to be able to just slide the entire T5 light fixture out the side of the tank, replace the bulbs, and then slide it right back in. So I'm still figuring that out. I don't think it's going to be too terribly complicated. I may have to build a canopy that hangs over the front and rear edges by 1/2 inch, maybe 1 inch on each end. But as long as the weight's supported on the sides, I think I'll be good. So we'll figure that out as we go. But this is what's up. New tank, new home. Gosh, I can't wait to get this thing plumbed and then start setting up the Apex system. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of plywood on the right-hand side of the front, and it's going to be recessed back probably about 4 or 5 inches to give clearance for the wires from the energy bars. But I'm going to mount the plywood to the bottom and the top. There's plywood in the top of the stand as well, and I'm going to mount that in there so that it's fixed. And I'll have all my Apex gear, all the controllers and everything on one panel. And then part of the canopy, I'm going to put my 3rd energy bar. And that energy bar, it's got 8 outlets. Now, with these T5s, each fixture has 2 plugs, plus the plug of the Photon V2. So I'll use a total of 6 plugs out of the 8. Now, in addition to the lighting going into that particular energy bar, I'm also going to be running a pair of max spec gyres. And my thought is to have one in the back right corner and another one in the front left corner. and they'll be set up in a manner that the flow will be kind of offsetting they'll be the pumps will be offsetting each other. I'm going to try and keep as much flow in the tank as possible. On the 210, the Reef Octopuses were putting out a combined flow of about 950, 960 gallons per hour. And I have no idea how to measure the flow of the max specs. But the Reef Octopuses, there's 5 settings, 5 power level settings, and I had it set on level 3, and I was getting 960 plus minus gallons per hour. So I don't like the idea of maxing the pumps out. If I lose one pump and I'm running off of only one pump until a replacement pump comes, then I'll max it out. Then I'll set it on 5. But just on normal everyday operation, I think 3's plenty. Now with this new tank, what I may do is I may bump it up to 4. And that should put me in the high 900s, low 1,000 gallons per hour. So that's what we're looking at. Livestock wise, I'm thinking tangs. I want tangs. I want a blue jaw triggerfish in there. I want a fox face. I want. So, like I said, I'm gonna wait until the plumbing shops open up on Monday and pick up my. I'm gonna go. Well, I haven't really decided between Schedule 40 and Schedule 80. I think Schedule 40 will do it for me. Pick up the 1.5 and 1 inch PVC piping and some unions and some joints, some elbows. So I'll get started on it Monday, probably Monday midday or afternoon. I don't expect it to be too terribly complex. And then I think probably by the end of the week, next week, the rocks and sand will be at the shop that I ordered them through. The nearest saltwater aquarium shop is in a town called Weatherford, Texas. Weatherford is about 45 minutes from here. So it's a good little drive. So I'm really looking forward. I want to take my time and do everything, appropriately, do it right. So, oh, and by the way,